Okay, we're on live stream. Hello, everybody. Here we are at 6:30 on November the something, November the 29th. Welcome. This is your free spa. So I'm hoping that you got your welcome messages and that you have got a bowl of warm, bubbly bubble bath underneath, and that you are going to relax for the evening. Now, what I'm going to do is simultaneously, multitasking, is I'm just going to have open my YouTube so that I can see what's going on there. And then if you want to make a message, you can make a message. So you can, let me just see, there we are on here. So if you want to write a message into the YouTube comments, you'll need to be signed in. So you need a YouTube account. You need to be signed into your YouTube account in order that you can do that. Now, I'm just checking that we are on. And there we are. Yes, we are live. And we've got 5 people who are signed in. We might have other people who aren't signed in. But there we are. I've got a new thing on the back of my phone that lets it stand up. It's rather marvelous. I'm sure the youngsters have had them for a very long time. Okay, so we've got YouTube on. Here we are. And if you're watching on catch up, you can still write comments on the YouTube. So hopefully, if you want to, you've got your feet in some warm water. I've just put mine in just as I was speaking there. Ooh, lovely. Been very chilly here in Nottingham in the UK today. We've had snow, we've had ice. I've been out to my lovely rescued chickens and had to take bottles of warm water down to thaw out their drinking water because they'd all frozen over. So it's all been very wintry for the end of November, and I've got layers and layers and layers on. I'm hoping that as my feet warm up and as we do our massage and all the other lovely things that we're going to do, then I will be able to start peeling off. That would be very marvelous. So do say hi if you're here in YouTube and that you are signed in so that you can write in the comments. That'd be fabulous. So if you haven't met me before, I'm Pam Burrows People Booster. PB, do you see? And I'm all about the boosting. So when the pandemic first hit and all of my in-person conference and workshop and training work got cancelled, then I was twiddling my thumbs a little bit and I decided to do a virtual spa because everybody was so frazzled. And other than a little break over last summer, I've carried on doing it on the last Monday of the month. But what I normally do is I work with organisations who need to reduce stress. So if you are working in an organisation that has some stress, who hasn't, then please do pass my name on to your HR or your health and safety people or your conference organisers and let them know that we can do something in your organisation. So what I do in organisations is I deliver something called the CARE model of wellbeing, CARE, which is an acronym. And little drum roll, as we speak today, you are the first people to know that my partner Anne and I have pressed the button today, and the CARE model is now live on Amazon. So we did the ebook a couple of days ago, but today the paperback has gone live. So the CARE book is now in the world. So feel free to go and have a look at Amazon, the CARE model of wellbeing. And my previous book, which I did put ready, is Burnout Buster. Discover your red flags and what to do about them. In here is 33 red flags that might suggest you're heading for burnout, and most importantly, what to do with them. That is the very important thing. Oh, here's Chantal. Hi, Chantal. Chantal's chickens have been out in the snow as well today. So she knows what it's all about, being looking after your feathered friends in the cold weather. So yes, so that's my existing book. And also I'm going to tell you something about that one, about how you can get a free copy later on. Right, so today I thought it would be a nice idea for this month's spa to focus in on hormones. I've been doing a course all about hormones, And there's some really good information there that I want to share with you because it's making a big difference to me. And if you're struggling with hormones at the moment, whether that's PMT, menstrual pain, menopause symptoms, or just generally for men and for all of us, hormones are the things that rule our body. They make everything work. So they keep the heart pumping, they make our digestion work, they do everything. It's not just about mood and temperature, it's about lots of different things. So knowing what's going on with your hormones can be really useful. Right, now I do need to say before we do anything else that you need to be easy on yourself. So I'm hoping you're fully relaxed and enjoying yourself and feeling comfortable. So we're going to do some physical things tonight. They're not too taxing, I hope. And if you've done my spas or my workshops before, some of it will be familiar. But go easy on yourself. If you've had a difficult day, if you've got a lot of tension in your shoulders, if you've got an achy back, if you're suffering a bit with a cold or whatever it is that you've got going on, if you've got existing health problems, just go steady and notice how you feel and ease off if you need to, because ain't nobody winning any prizes tonight. It's just about relaxing, releasing the tension, releasing the stress, and just having more balance, not just your hormones, but your whole self. That's what's really important. Now, I'm speaking in very much personal capacity because in the last 20 minutes, I've had a laptop with no camera working, and then gone to Annie's laptop, which didn't have all my things set up on it. So I've had 20 minutes of going, being a little bit crazy, a little bit on the last minute, which isn't something that I enjoy. And that set off some adrenaline. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Adrenaline is a hormone, and it's one that we need to be very careful of, because once you've got some adrenaline going, you'll also have its friend cortisol, the two stress hormones going on, and they can send everything else out of whack. So what I made sure happened just before I switched on is that I just did some deep breathing to release any stress hormones that might have gone a little bit haywire while I was, is it going to work? Am I going to be in time? Well, that kind of moment. Because what can happen is you have one moment where you think you've lost your phone, or somebody phones up and tells you something that is, landed like a ton of bricks, whatever it might be. And then you can carry on with those stress hormones for the rest of your day, your week, your month, your year, your life, unless we consciously say, whoa, Neddy, let's slow down with those stress hormones and let's get something else going instead. So it's really important that we do that. Okay, so what we're going to do first up, wherever you are, being comfortable, I want you to take your pants off. Now, hold on, don't rush into this. I don't mean actually take your pants off. What I mean is take off your superhero pants. These are my Wonder Woman pants. They're very lovely and they're very sparkly. But it's really important, if you've been being everything to everybody and being overly busy, it's now time to just let it go. So if you have got pants on, keep them on. But take off your superhero pants. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little thing I call just let go. The JUST is a way of remembering it. I'll tell you about that in a second. But all we need to do is think about the things that happen when you are holding tension. So a number of things happen. The shoulders start to go a little bit further up towards the ears, and you start wearing them as earrings because there's so much tension in the shoulders. The other thing is we clench the teeth and we stick the tongue to the upper palate. We start to get a bit of a frown in the forehead, and we start to breathe quite short and shallow rather than long, deep breaths that relax us. So those are the things that happen when we're busy, when we're overwhelmed, when we're stressed, when we're tense. So we're going to undo all of those things at the same time. So I hope you'll do this with me. We're going to breathe in a nice long, deep breath through your nose and raise the shoulders up. And also your eyebrows. And then as you breathe out, we're going to roll the shoulders back and down. And as you do that, relax the eyebrows, relax the jaw, let the tongue rest in the bottom palate, loosen the teeth. Not loosen your teeth, but part the teeth a little so they're not clamped shut. Okay, so that's just let go. J-U-S-T, J for jaw, U for, well, it should be forehead, but didn't make a word, so it's upper face. S for shoulders and T for tongue, and the let go is letting go of your breath. Just let go. Let's do it a few more times, and so we can really feel the benefit of it. So we're breathing in and taking everything up, including your eyebrows, rolling back and down and letting go as you breathe out. And as you do this, something I like to do is as you roll your shoulders back, just imagine you're shrugging off stuff you don't need, anything that you've been holding on to. You know, sometimes it's like we've got a rucksack full of other people's stuff, criticisms, expectations, drama, and we're just going to roll that off. And then bring yourself to comfortable seat. Ease out your neck a little. Mine's crunching and clicking. I think I need to do a bit more of it. So I've been finishing the care book, doing a lot of sitting at the computer. So I need to do a bit more practicing what I preach and ease out my neck. We're going to be doing some shoulder massage in a minute, so that'll do us all good. Right, so hopefully you've already got your feet in soak. We're going to leave them there for a little while. And I'm going to talk to you a bit about hormones. Now, one very important thing, I have just had 8 years of going through menopausal symptoms, kind of coming out the other side, still not quite there yet, but something that is very important for all of us, but particularly if you're having menopausal symptoms is, and I say this every time we do a spa, put Epsom salts in your bath. I've got them in the foot spa. You can get fancy ones that smell fancy, that are very expensive, or you can just get Epsom salts, basic as you like. You can get them in big bags and big buckets on the internet, much cheaper. And then spend the extra cash on getting a really good essential oil. This one's lavender for relaxation. Some people don't like lavender. Try geranium. Try anything you like, just as long as it smells nice for you. Or just find a bubble bath that you like and pour it in. But do put some Epsom salts in. Now, why I am particularly mentioning this today is that when you soak your body or even just your feet in Epsom salts, you absorb magnesium from the Epsom salts in the water. Why is that important, Pam? Oh, let me tell you why it's important. Because magnesium is something that we're often lacking in when we're going through the menopause. Extra magnesium is good for quite a lot of people, but particularly menopausally. Get your magnesium up. Another thing that happens with our hormones is when we get affected by those stress hormones that I mentioned a bit ago, adrenaline and cortisol. Cortisol makes a particular impact on our digestive system and on our immune system, which are pretty key important things right now. And so what we want to do is we want to keep those cortisol levels down and keep our endorphins and serotonin and oxytocin and all those good hormones. We want to keep those levels high. But the thing is with cortisol as well, is that it messes with your insulin levels. So the thyroid is very much impacted by those stress hormones, and it will play around with your blood sugar levels. Now, one of the things that I've learned over time about this is if I have a big rush of adrenaline and cortisol, even if it's something exciting. So last week I did 2, not 1, but 2 in-person gigs, which was very exciting. Coincidentally, one after the other, both with groups of people who are linked with dementia. So people who are experiencing it or caring for somebody with it. or in a relationship or a family member of somebody with dementia. So 2 groups, and it was so fantastic to be in person again, actually be in the room, getting people to chat to each other, being able to see them smile, hearing them laugh. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely delightful. But it was so exciting and it was positive, but that raised up my adrenaline levels and cortisol. On the second one, I then was very busy straight afterwards, and I found that I didn't properly, I didn't follow my own rules. What I try to do after something that has raised my adrenaline levels, even if it's a positive thing, is I lie flat on my back with my palms open, eyes closed, and I breathe long and deep. And it just completely resets those stress hormones. It just lets go. If you think about it, the stress hormones are there because it thinks that you're in some kind of stressful situation and you're going to need to be pumped up and ready. If you are lying on your back, completely open and breathing long and deep, the brain gets the message that, oh, there isn't a lion chasing me. All is well. I can calm down now. So it basically switches all of that off. I just didn't do it. I just went from one thing to another. I was busy. And over the next couple of days, I noticed that I was a little bit jittery. I was a little bit worried. I was flipping into certain things that were out of proportion, just little things. Now, in my Burnout Buster book, I talk about red flags. And that was a red flag for me. I started worrying about things that were out of proportion. It was a tiny, tiny little red flag. I wasn't having a meltdown. It was just a little thing, but I spotted it early. And that's what I'd like you to do more of. When you start to spot that you're a bit out of kilter, not all, everything's, you're maybe a bit irritable, maybe not sleeping quite as well, notice them early and do something about it. So this morning I did an extra long yoga session. I put the heater. I thought, I don't want to do yoga. It's a bit cold this morning. Okay, put the heater on then. The central heating was on. I put an extra heater on in order to be able to do my yoga comfortably. Stop finding excuses, find the space, find the time, do the stuff you know that works. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling myself, I'm reminding myself to do those things. So I did the yoga, and all of that whittling stopped and I felt much better. We need to get on these things, these habits. And when you start to spot the red flags, then get on them early. Okay, now, so I talked about the thyroid gland, which is here in the neck. A little bit lower is the thymus. And the thymus is something that we can have an impact on. I'm starting to unwrap. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something called the thymus thump. And so we're going to create a little vibration by patting our chests like this. So just kind of in the sternum here, we're just going to pat with the ends of our fingers. This is the thymus thump. Now, I found when I started doing this, it really did settle things down. It kind of stopped all that worry, busy. And you might find that you have a busy day and then you finish your busy day, but you still feel busy in your head. You still feel a bit jittery, a bit out of sorts. So this is a really good way to settle that down. But as I was doing it, I was thinking about the therapy, which is called tapping, which is very powerful. And with tapping, there's 2 little spots here, which are known as sore spots, that you do some tapping with 2 fingers there. So I thought, do you know what? Let's combine the whole lot. Let's do the thymus thump and let's go all around the chest. It's all a bit Tarzan. Oh, you can make the noise as well if you like. Have fun with it. And what I found was when I was, I got a bit into cake and I was thinking, we need to slow down on the sugar again. And while I'm there, let me just mention sugar and alcohol, 2 worst enemies for menopausal symptoms and hormones in general, sends them all out of kilter. So I did this for a little while when I was tempted to head for the cake, and the feeling just went. I felt relaxed and thought, I don't need it. So this might be something that you could do in the supermarket when you've put 60 donuts in your trolley. You might do this for a moment and then put them back. You might get arrested by security for just being very odd, but either way, you've avoided the donuts. And now I can feel fizzing in my hands. I can feel, it's a little bit sore. I can feel that something has happened, but I feel like somebody's been tapping a bowl and it's had ripples in it. And that's just come to stillness. That's how I feel right now. I wonder how you feel. Okay. Another thing to say, we're not going to do this right now, but another thing to say about hormones is that if you're experiencing a drop in confidence, if your hormones are a little out of kilter and you started to doubt yourself and this kind of thing, then doing exercises which are weight bearing, so weight lifting or just body weight stuff. So that might include things like downward dog, planking, kind of where you lift yourself, you're sitting down, you kind of push up with your hands, anything which involves you working your muscles. So this is different to cardio. That kind of stuff encourages testosterone in the body, and everybody needs some testosterone. Everybody has all of the hormones, just have them in different amounts. So have a think about what you might do in terms of body weight. So, for me, my yoga includes quite a lot of body weight stuff. And then that's going to encourage testosterone in the body to bring those levels up, especially if you've been feeling a little bit, perfect way to describe the feeling. Oh, I'm not sure what it was. Oh, the bowl thing. I think Grianne's referring to the ripples in the bowl. I'm glad you like that one. Okay, so planking and all things like that will bring up your testosterone. Sugar and alcohol, great fun to have. Just be aware if your hormones go out of kilter afterwards, just understand why that's happened. Make sure you keep your protein levels up, which is going to help to keep your blood sugar levels a little more constant. But the other thing to say is that your carb levels are important. And I know it's very, very popular at the moment to have low carbs, high protein, keto diet, this kind of things, the blood sugar diet, all kinds of different names for it. But if you are experiencing menopausal symptoms, be careful, because you do need to keep some carbs in your diet. Carbs are important for just keeping that the hormones level. So all carbs aren't the enemy. Right. Anything else I was going to tell you about that? No, we're just going to go straight into the magic 3. A lot of you will know the magic 3. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We've been doing this for quite a while now. And this also has a massive impact on balancing your hormones. So the first one is the adrenal twist. Now, remember, the adrenal glands are in the back here, just above your bum. And if you imagine your kidneys as a little fist, the adrenal glands are like a little beanie hat on the top. It's not particularly relevant, but I just think it's cute. So the adrenal glands are very much about about getting rid of the toxins from the body. And sometimes if we've had a lot going on and we've got that tension, the adrenaline's going, then we need to get rid. So the non-scientific version of this is, imagine a flannel. Here's a flannel, just happen to have one here. And imagine it's full of adrenaline. And what we're going to do is we're going to wring it out. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do it by twisting just the top half of the body. So if you've got your fingers, if you've got your feet in your bucket, just be careful. If you are on a twizzly chair, be extra careful. And we're going to put our hands on our shoulders. If you've got a bit of a problem with your shoulder or your neck or whatever, and that's uncomfortable, you can just put your hands on opposite arms instead. So I'm going to do it in the way that it was taught in Kundalini yoga. And you close your eyes, twist to the left and breathe in, twist to the right and breathe out. So it goes like this. Breathe in as you go left, breathe out as you go right. Keep your eyes closed till your focus goes inwards. If you haven't already, start and have a go at the adrenal twist. And if you want to, you can imagine as you twist left, you are breathing in a healing white light. And as you twist to the right, you're breathing out everything you need to let go of. Just dump it all over to the right. It'll be recycled into something more useful. You don't need it anymore. Let's detox. Breathe into the left, breathe out to the right. Go as fast or as slow as feels right for you. Make sure you close your eyes, take your focus inwards. Stops you going dizzy as well. But in Kundalini yoga, we do a lot of the movement with our eyes shut. You spend so much time with your eyes open, seeing what everybody needs, including Chantal, who I hope has heard her name being called. Chantal phoned me today to offer me something very, very kind amount of help. So if you've been looking out for who needs helping, now it's time to have your eyes closed and go inside. Breathing into the left, breathing out to the right. We're just going to do this just for a little bit longer. You can do it for up to 10 minutes if you wanted to. And honestly, you'll really feel the difference. But we'll just continue for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your eyes closed. Let your hands rest in your lap. Come to stillness and just notice how you feel. Now, while you're doing that, eyes closed and just resting there, I'd like you to think about any time when you get your exercise going to the point where you're doing really hard cardio and you're fully out of breath. Maybe you've got a sweat on. You have raised your cortisol levels. That's okay. But after hefty cardio, you also need to lie down, breathe deep, and let those levels come back down again. Okay, gently open your eyes. Okay, right. So we're doing the magic 3. Second one is, I just need to put myself something so I can take my foot out a second. Put a flannel down there so I can turn to the side. We're going to do spinal flex. So you push forward, and what you're trying to do is create a C shape with your spine. Your head is staying in the same place. Push forward, breathe in, and then curl you back in. And again, the head staying in the same place. You're not kind of lifting and lowering your head. Curl you back like a little turtle as you breathe out. So breathe in, breathe out. Get started. Close your eyes. Go inside. Focus on what you need. Push forward as you breathe in. Curve back as you breathe out. These kinds of counter poses where you're really flexing the spine in the opposite way to whatever you've been doing today. Maybe you've been sitting around a lot, maybe you've been driving, just holding tension in the shoulders. We're releasing all of that. Good stuff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes closed, stay as you are. Just notice how you feel. Taking a moment. It's really important to think about what you're doing with all of your joints, but particularly your spine. There's a saying in yoga that you're as young as your spine. So as you're moving that spine one way and then the other way, each vertebrae is getting movement. And when you move it, it's starting to create lubrication. So the more you move, the more juice there is. And that's going to help with things like inflammation, painful joints, all of those kinds of things. Right. Open your eyes. And now the third of the magic 3, my very, very favorite. We are going to shake up the nervous system. This is such a fun yet unbelievably powerful thing. So we're going to flap the hands as if we're a toddler who's just learnt to wave. And the important thing is that we're getting movement in the wrists here. There's something very magical about the nerve endings in the wrists. And then we're going to join in with the elbows and then the shoulders. And then if your neck and your shoulders are all right with that, take your hands above your head, give them a little shake. If you're not in water and it's convenient for you to stand up, you might want to stand up right now, and you could shake your legs and wriggle your bum, do whatever you want to do, shaking, shaking, shaking. Having a shake every single day, whether you do it in the morning to start your day or you do it to let go of all the tension before you go to sleep, it's a really, really healthy thing to do. There is a story that there are parts of Africa where doctors tell you in which way to shake and for how long for particular ailments. Honestly, it really does shift the nervous system. So we're going to do it for 5 more for a count of 5, but I want you to really go for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands in your lap, eyes closed. Notice how you feel. I feel fizzing in my hands. I can feel my shoulders beginning to loosen. Just noticing how that feels. Gently open your eyes. Now, I've got a new hammer. You might have seen me with a hammer before. This one's got smiles on it, which is a bad idea, really, because you really shouldn't be using it. Why am I talking about the hammer? When you get to the end of the day and you've only got through some of the things that you meant to do, and you go, oh, I can't believe I didn't get that finished, or that's not perfect. Oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, I'd said the wrong thing. Oh, that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. And you beat yourself up. You know what? That sets off more of those stress chemicals. So put the hammer down, not hammer time, hammer down. And instead do your magic 3. If you find yourself beating yourself up, thinking over your day and giving yourself a hard time, you need to release the stress chemicals that are encouraging you to look for the problem. If you've got stress chemicals, they're going to be like, whoa, we're on high alert, we're on survival mode. And you need to be on, do you know what, I've done my very best today mode. And put the hammer down, have a little shake, have a little twist, have a little curve, and just let go. Lovely jubbly. Now, I came across something new that I wanted to test out with you, and I hope you don't mind. So we're going to have a go at this. Now, I don't know if this works or not. So I want to, I found it worked a bit for me, but then I thought, then I'm only one person and I do tend to want things to work. I've got this overactive optimism. So I hope you'll have a go with this, and it will cause no harm at all if it doesn't work. It's just whether it actually does work. Now, I've talked before about, now I wasn't planning on using Frank tonight, so I'm just going to lean over and get Frank out of the box. Here's Frank. And Frank has come with all his bits and bobs going on there, but there wasn't anything that was specific enough for me to show the vagus nerve. So I've added these little curly ribbons to show the vagus nerve. The longest cranial nerve comes out of the skull, round and behind the ears, and into the neck, into the chest. The vagus nerve is very powerful. It helps us to rest and digest. So when the vagus nerve's all kind of scrunched up and not really firing on all cylinders, it can really affect our digestive system and our stress levels. So what we really want to do is we want to be friends of the vagus nerve. You don't want it flapping out in the wind. It actually comes down the neck like this. It's all very scientific. So we want to make the vagus nerve very happy. Well, the magic 3 that you've just done, unless you were just watching for the fun of it, but hopefully you did them. Those things are very powerful. And here's a new one. So what you do is you get your hands and interlock your fingers and put them at the back of your head. You're just kind of in a very relaxed mood here, no tension. And then all you do is you move your eyes as if you were trying to move them to 3 o'clock. So imagine if you're looking straight ahead, you're looking into the middle of a clock. And then you're looking all the way over to number 3. So your eyes are at eye level, as far as they'll go to the right, and just hold them there. And just breathe and just notice how you feel. And the idea is that at some point you will either sigh or yawn, or something will happen that is a change. It might be in your breathing, it might be how you feel. You'll just notice a change. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Ooh, a bit dizzy now. Yeah, just let me know if you noticed any difference in that. It does seem there is a powerful, there are some powerful results in terms of eye movement for releasing trauma. But this just one eye movement over to this side, I've not come across that before. So let me know if you have any experiences. Okay, I think we are on to shoulder massages now. So I'm going to take off another layer. It's like pass the parcel. Right, okay, let's take that big trapezius muscle that connects the neck and the shoulder. Let's use this movement to give it a big squeeze. Lisa is yawning. Yay, Lisa's had a reaction to that. It's really interesting. Okay, take one hand onto the opposite shoulder. Now be careful if it's very tense here. If you've been, Ariane started smiling and felt happy. Oh, well, I'll maybe add that to the repertoire then if it's having results. That's really great. And Chantel's enjoying the new hammer. Yeah, maybe it's nice to have a smile. So we're squeezing. If you want to, you can just carry on squeezing, or you can take two fingers and have a little look around into your shoulder blade, and if there's bits around there. Now, I really want to encourage you to be kind as you do this. You can be firm, but what you don't want to do is be tense for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then go, right, I'm going to get my knuckles in here and I'm going to give it a really good go. Because actually, you probably need little and often. Do it while you're watching the telly, do it when you're in the bath and your muscles are warm. Remember to breathe long and deep as you do this, which helps the muscles to soften. Okay, then we're going to give it a little dust. This affects the fascia, which is just below the skin. Lots of nerve endings and all kinds of important things that we are resetting there. Give your shoulders a little roll and notice the difference. Oh, yeah, I can feel that difference. So let's go for the same movement, same muscle. Oh, gosh, that is tight after all that computer work for the last 2 weeks. It was all worth it. I'm so excited about this book. I've been saying I'm going to publish it for about 4 years, maybe even more. And finally, it's ready. It's very exciting. Okay, right. Have a little go around if you want to. I just realized I've got wood shavings on my jumper. That's from checking on the chickens. Dead professional here, you know, like living on a farm. Right, let's give the motion to the fascia. A little roll. Ah, excellent. Right, we're going to leave that there for this time. We're not going to do the head and the ears and whatever. Maybe do that again next time. I like to shrivel it up a bit, do different things. We're going to head over to Feetsville now. So you're going to take your left foot out of the water and you're going to get something to dry it with, but you're going to do it really nicely. You're going to dry that foot in between the toes, one toe at a time, as if it's the foot of somebody very, very special, which it is. It's you. You've been doing all the stuff, all the busy. Now it's your time. So dry that foot very, very carefully, very kindly. In quite a lot of cultures, it's very traditional to wash the feet of somebody that you're showing reverence to. I want you to wash your foot in that way. I'm putting my reflexology sock on the wrong foot. Right, now we're the right way around. Okay, so we're going to do a little reflexology now on our feet. I'm going to show you the different areas. I seem to have 7 toes tonight. Can't get it organized. There we go. Right, so you can buy these on the internet if you're interested, or you can just get a picture on your device of reflexology foot and follow it yourself on another time if you wanted to. But for now, I'm going to talk you through it. So the tips of your toes represent the sinuses. Let's do some circular movements with thumb and finger for the sinuses. This little piggy went to market style. And then the whole of the big toe is the head and the neck. And then underneath these little paddy paw bits here, obviously, well, not obviously, but I'm imagining that you've got your foot on your, across your other leg. So we're looking at the eyes and the ears. And so from that angle, you'll probably be doing it with your thumbs, little circles, little presses. If you find something a bit crunchy, just give it a little bit more of a massage, but try not to. If you find it sore, then there's a message there about that part of your body. There's no need to worry about it, but don't dig in either. It might be something you want to get checked. Around the ball of the foot here is the heart, the spine, the thyroid, the lungs, and then we're going across to the heart and the shoulder. In the middle is the adrenal glands, and in the arch of your foot is the stomach. So giving all of that some love. Coming down to the intestine, the bladder, genitals, and the sciatic nerve in the heel there. Now, all of those things are really interesting, and, you know, potentially you could figure out something that needed some medical attention, but you can just massage your feet without having to know any of that detail. Right, we're going to give them a squeeze all over, and then a round of applause. Well done, foot. Stimulating all of those nerve endings. Wonderful. Okay. Right, let's go the same way. We're going to take the other foot and we're going to take it out of the water and dry it very kindly, very carefully, very lovingly. Whoop. Banging the table. There we go. If you've got some lotion, you want to put your lotion on. And there's no reason why, when we've done here, you can't just carry on. You know, if you've got other things you want to do, like sorting out your toenails or whatever you want to do, there's no reason why at the end of this you can't just carry on doing something lovely for you. And remember that all of these are live streamed, but then the recordings are on my YouTube channel. So you can do one anytime you want. The older ones are 90 minutes and the newer ones are 60 minutes. So you can choose and, you know, do one once a week. Why not? Right. Okay. Same thing again. Tops of the toes is your sinuses. Give that some love. The head is in your head and neck is in your big toe. And then we're going all around these paddy bits, the eyes and the ears. Give the heart some love around the ball of the foot, across to the shoulder, into the arch of the foot for the stomach, adrenals. Oh, bright pink nail varnish going on my toes next, says Chantel. Yay! And then down to the bladder. Oh, all of that intestinal stuff going on there. And then give your foot a squeeze. Oh, lovely, lovely. And a round of applause. Thank you, foot. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for all the palaver you go through when I stick you in the wrong shoes. And I have to say, I'm wearing a lot more flat shoes now than I did. And just feeling very comfortable these days. I'm just going to move my bucket a minute, which is actually a storage drawer. There we go. And pull my joggers down, keep my legs warm. Oh, that feels nice. I hope you enjoyed that. And we've just got a little bit of time now to go to the Maldives, which is something that we do regularly on these spa events. Just going to go off to the beach and do something lovely. So let me find my little thing, and there we go. Right, so we are almost ready to go. So I hope you'll get yourself comfortable if you're not already. If you want to lie down, that's absolutely fine. Before you close your eyes, just get yourself registered with this view. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so here is an actual beach in the Maldives. Okay, so here is an actual white sand, turquoise in the Maldives, blue sky. Okay, so here is deep green tropical bushes and white sand, turquoise in the Maldives, blue sky. Okay, so here is deep green tropical breathe in and breathe out, white sand, turquoise watching that lovely sky. Okay, so here is you can deep green tropical breathe in and breathe out, white sand, turquoise watching that lovely sky. Okay, so here is you can deep green and you breathe in and breathe out, sand. And as you close your eyes, begin to look at the colours and the lights that you breathe inside of your eyelids. And as you close your eyes, begin to thinking about that. Look at the colours and the lights that you breathe inside. And if you were there right now in that close your eyes, beautiful, thinking about that. Look at the colours and the lights, kind of sunbed. And if you were there right now in that close have a hammock, beautiful, thinking about that. Like one of those full double beds with kind of sunbed. And if you were there right now in that close have a hammock, maybe it's just maybe like one of those plastic sunbed, double beds with kind of sunbed. And if you were there right now in that bad things happening, maybe it's just maybe like one of those plastic sunbed, double beds with kind of sunbed. And if you were there something not right, sorry, bad things happening, maybe it's I think we've got the, yeah, it happened before, but I can't remember what I did with it. Yeah. I think I need to switch off the YouTube. I can't see where I do that. Sorry, folks, this has happened before and I can't remember how I solved it. Ah, there we go. I think that should do it. Right. So if I go back now. Right. Sorry about that, Lisa. No, it wasn't you. Okay, I think that's stopped now. I think. How's that going? Better now. Lovely. I think what had happened was the system automatically opens YouTube, even though I didn't ask it to, and then it's playing both at the same time. I do apologize. Right. Okay. So here we are. It's hilarious that this is supposed to be the most relaxing bit, and then we get all this going on. So thank you. I've got the thumbs up that all is well on all channels. Brilliant. Okay, right. Relax, let go, just breathe. Imagine what sunbed you would have. And maybe you'd have a little parasol, a sunshade, or maybe you'd been full sunlight, feeling the sun really heating up every part of you, warming you through to your bones. You don't even need to worry about sunscreen because this is a magical experience. Lying in the sunshine or in the shade, you can smell tropical flowers on the breeze. The sky is so blue. Little white fluffy clouds. The sea is a bright turquoise. And just off into the distance, you can see a couple of gulls just bobbing on the water. They've decided to have a rest from flying. And they are just bobbing on the water. They almost look like they're smiling. And as the sea ebbs and flows, they rise up and dip down with the gentlest of waves. Imagine that the sea ebbs and flows in time with your breath. Or maybe you are creating the waves. The waves created by the moon. The moon affects our hormonal balance and our cycles. Each and every human being has a natural cycle dictated by the moon. Imagine that you have the power to have the waves ebb and flow in time with your breath. That beautiful turquoise sea. And then you notice that with the next wave that comes in, what also rolls in is a beautiful seashell. It's absolutely exquisite. You manage to force yourself to sit up and lean over and pick up the seashell. And as you lie back on your sunbed, you look at all the details of it, the colors, the shape, and then hold it to your ear and hear the sounds of the sea, and perhaps the sound of a message for you. What would the sea be reminding you? What's the message that nature would give you right now? What's the thing that you need to hear? Perhaps it's about nutrition, hydration, taking time to rest. Maybe it's to acknowledge how well you're doing. Maybe it's something else that only you know you need to hear right now. Something that supports you and your well-being, something that acknowledges the power of you. What's the message from the shell? Maybe it's just about acknowledging the beauty of what you have in your hand. As you breathe in and breathe out, your shoulders become softer and softer. The whole weight of your body is supported and warmed by this beautiful place. And anytime you want to, you can come back here. You've created this feeling. You decide what you can see in this beautiful place. Breathing in, breathing out, letting go, letting nature bring you what you need. Maybe you place the shell in your bag. Maybe you leave it on the beach to be washed out and in again. Maybe you place it somewhere in your mind's eye that you'll find it again. This beautiful place is somewhere you can come back to any time you need to, in the blink of an eye and the depth of one long breath. In a moment, we're going to come back to the room. Just before we do, I'd like you to notice how this feels and that this feeling is possible all through the day. Even when things are busy, this peacefulness is inside of you all the time. So then let's take a stretch as long as you possibly can, stretching yourself out, pointing your toes and then pushing your heels and then pointing your toes again, perhaps stretching to the left and stretching to the right. And then if you want to, hugging your knees up to give your back a little stretch. If you're in a position to do so, you might want to twist your knees to one side and then the other to give your spine a little twist. And then opening your eyes and bringing yourself back to the moment for our last few minutes together. I hope that you're going to spend a little more time this evening giving yourself some time, giving yourself some more pampering or attention. Maybe it's about doing those bodily maintenance jobs that aren't that much pampering, but you just haven't been paying attention to. I filed my nails this morning. I'd broken some and some had chipped and different things. I'd just completely forgotten to do that. So let me stop sharing the screen now and just come back for our last few minutes. So yeah, those little jobs that are just about taking care of yourself. It's not about, a whole day at a spa or having a whole week's holiday. It's just the little things sometimes. And one of the things that we sometimes get hooked into is, well, I'm going to have to work on my self-esteem and my self-worth and self-value because I don't do the self-care. So I need to build up my self-worth so that I'll do the self-care. Do you know what? It's the other way around. When you take a little time to paint your toenails or have a little foot bath or do a little relaxation or spend some time in meditation or just choosing your favorite mug or taking care of yourself in a tiny little way, that's what builds the self-esteem, the self-worth, the self-value. Because if you think about it, if somebody was doing those things for you, it would make you feel loved. That's what we need to do for ourselves. That's where self-worth comes from. When you show yourself those little moments of kindness, those thoughtfulnesses, that taking care of you. If you go into the kitchen and you really fancy, I don't know, poached egg on toast, but you can't be bothered, so you think, I'll just have a cup of soup. You really were caring for yourself. Make that poached egg on toast. What is it that you need? Those little things, when you take care of yourself, when you listen to what you need, and then you take action on what the answers are, that's what will make you feel better about who you are. And the more you do that, the more self-worth you have a sense of, then it's more likely that other people will treat you with worth as well. If you're forever going, oh, I don't matter, I don't matter, I don't matter, other people might treat you the same way. So when you go, actually, I matter, I'm going to do something for me, it really does change your whole demeanor and the vibes that you send out into the world. You are worth it and you are important. And those things really will help us, not just to feel good about who we are, but also to build our immune system, to build this sense of wellness in our bodies. So it's really, really, really important. Now, I think I'm probably preaching to the converted in this particular session, but who knows who might watch this in the future. So if you haven't already, please do go to my website, pamburrows.com. And at the bottom of every page, you can sign up for my Monday motivational message or And in that message, I write a little story with a little message just to remind you how important it is to look after you. And also over the last few weeks, I've been writing little stories about my rescue chickens, which we love so very much. And they're all now completely feathered up, ready for winter. They arrived from it's not called a battery farm anymore, but it really is, looking like they were oven ready with hardly any feathers. And now they're all feathered up for winter and snuggling down. It's such a happiness. Why was I talking about chickens? As soon as I talk about chickens, I forget everything else. And yeah, people are now saying, don't ask her about the chickens, because then there follows half an hour of talking about the chickens. So they're my therapy, actually. While I am talking about them, I will mention how much better my emotional and mental health has been since we got the chickens. They're just so therapeutic and funny. So, oh yes, chicken story and the motivational message, that was it. So a little story and little photos of them as well, and their progress in there. Also in there, you will be able to find out about things I've got coming up. So I've got some plans for some new things, new little events that I'm going to put on. Some of them might even be in person, although I'm going to wait probably till the summer for the in-person stuff, but definitely some new online things that I'm going to be doing, including a January challenge. And it's all going to be very exciting. So if you don't already, then sign up for the Monday Motivation, because then you'll get all the information in there. That's the place that I put all of that kind of things. Okay, I think that's everything I was going to talk about, except to remind you that my wellbeing book is now live on Amazon. It's in paperback and in ebook, but also the thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to record it as an audio book, which means that as you're listening to the book, you can then be doing the breathing techniques or the visualizations that kind of be live in the book. Whereas the book as it is at the moment, if you get the ebook or the paperback, you then have a free hidden web page that's got all the techniques and videos and stuff in there, and downloadable posters. And that's all part of the book. You're getting the information in there. So that brings us to 7:30, just afterwards, actually. And it's been absolutely delightful to be with you tonight, to have you join me. Thank you for being online. I hope that you've got something in mind that you're going to do for yourself that's going to be showing yourself that self-care, and that's going to continue, not just tonight. Self-care is not just for Christmas, but hopefully you'll be continuing to look after your very precious self ongoing. There won't be a December spa because that would clash with Christmas, but I will be doing some exciting things in January. So keep your eyes peeled, and remember, you can always watch a recording of these and redo some of those whenever you want to. Get your feet in a bucket and massage those shoulders. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an absolute delight to give this to you. Feel free to tell other people about it and to spread the word that it is possible to feel good, even in the midst of all the chaos. Lots of love. Mwah! I hope I see you in person at some point soon. Bye for now.